Awesome, man. Thank you guys for having me back. So this is part two. This is the second part of the clinic I do for my guys in Mexico. For you guys that weren't here last time, AFAAC is a youth association I started in my state where I was born in Mexico. Um, we've been doing it for about 3 years. We take teams up to the International Bowl, and we have we're basically like well, here in Arizona, it's the Arizona Interscholastic Association. But we're the state association down there, and I founded that, and we do a lot of stuff down there, tackling clinics. And this one's for coaches. Last week I did why the 4-2-5, and this week I just want to do a few variations, cover three, which I like to mess with, which I learned from my mentor Thurman Moore, and he was at Brophy, he was at Chandler. I guess he was at UCLA and Buffalo and the Chargers for a while, and I learned a lot from him, and there's different things that we learned and I picked up, which I like to throw into games and mess with quarterbacks and um, help stop the run. So I'm gonna get started real quick. It's gonna be fast. If I talk too fast, guys, I tend to do that because I tend to go off in Spanish. So if I go off in Spanish or I talk too fast, stop me. But you know, this is part two clinic. We're going over 4-2-5 basics. We're over the push. Versus 3x1. We're gonna go over buzz versus 20 personnel. Ringo and Lucky versus 20 and 21. And what I call Compton or corners over is the last one. We just go over real quickly. I don't do that one that much. You guys might like that. That's versus tight end set.
Coach, we're still seeing the huddle screen.
We are? Oh,
yes,
crap. All right, man. Let me see how I can get back out of that.
You may have to just share the other screen. Yeah, there you go.
There it is. All right, let me go back. So we're going to go over again. The 4-2-5 basics, push versus 3x1, buzz versus 20 personnel, Ringo and Lucky versus 20 and 21, and Compton, which is corners overs. About different types of cover threes I like to run out of the umbrella, just to mess with quarterbacks, help out in the run, a sense of different types of blitzes, just gives us a change up of cover three. You can do a lot more stuff with cover three and actually play cover one to one side, cover three the other side. It's just different variations. We just go over the basics of it today. That's my background right now. I'm a linebacker coach at Brophy Prep. I've been at Brophy Prep for about 4 years. 2018, I was actually DC at Scottsdale Christian. That's aside from Brophy Prep. Went back to Brophy Prep last year, coached the D-line. I'm the linebacker coach. Before that was the safeties. Did some DC at Horizon High School. I did some DC for the United States national team, U16, U19, select, and U14. Did a few times. So I've been DC for quite a while. Started at the bottom, and now I'm hopefully moving up. So that's my background. Why the 4-2-5? It helps cover against offenses that are pass heavy in the RPO. You can quickly adjust to a 3-3-5, which you'll see in one of our first films that I show, or a 4-3 or a 5-2. It keeps the best athletes on the field. It keeps a 3 versus 2 box or a 3 versus 3 box, left or right box against the run. You can run many different variations of coverages. Personnel helps shorten the side of the field. It's easy to learn for players. It's a quick install, with these international bowls and these national games I have in Mexico and national bowls here in the United States. It's easy to install these coverages into the 6 to 7 practices we have to get ready for the game. We don't have, spring ball and passing league and all that stuff to get ready for a game. We have 6 practices, 3 days, and we can get all this stuff in. So it makes it real easy. As you see, we just changed a couple things. We just have some call words and keywords and all that stuff that help us adjust to personnels and formations. Many players are now hybrid, so your strong safety could be a bigger, better player than your linebacker, which we had in the case at Brophy a couple years ago, last 2 years. And it just depends how you use those people, and they can drop pass or they can play up the run. And a lot of hybrid players nowadays, and we can easily adapt to that in 4-2-5. And you can easily change from movements to motions. Cover three, why? Like I said, it's easy to adapt to personnel. I love changing it up, and I don't really change it. The mic and the strong safety of the quarterbacks on the field, they'll see 20 personnel, 21 personnel, and they'll make the call. And if depending on the side of the field where the corner is at and how much distance he has from the will linebacker. He can call a man-to-man call, and we can play some games with that will linebacker. It just really depends what we have going on. But if you have the smart enough kids to do it, you can do a lot of things, and they can actually be the quarterbacks in the field. They can actually change it up because they know what you've put in practice in the scheme of the week. They know what's going on. So a lot of this is based on your teaching, how well they pick it up, and how well they can change stuff depending on situation, down distance, like I said, spreads, split size, and all that between receivers. Also put number in the box for the run. We bring that extra safety down inside or outside the box, depending where we put them. And we have numbers on the strength side versus the run. And then it changes your force player to the outside backer now. Let's see, and then the deep third players, they don't have run responsibility. So if you're a corner or free safety, you have zero run responsibility. We want you to get in that bail technique or that middle third technique and get depth and play the pass. Only come down, as a save the player, save the touchdown player when that ball crosses the line of scrimmage. But everybody else in the box is playing the run first. And then we have strength words, like our strength call. Like for our 2x2, if you're here last week, it's left and right. That's our strength call. But you'll see as we go through these cover threes, the strength call changes. They have different strength calls. For example, you'll see it in our diagram. But if we bring the strong safety outside or inside number 2 to replace the will linebacker, we call that ring or lucky. If he's replacing the Mike, we call it Rex or Leo. And then we just have those words that if the Mike and the strong safety say Rex or Leo or Ringo or Lucky, our safeties, corners, linebackers, we know what's going on. We don't make the front very difficult. The front's doing the same job they do in our base 4-2-5. Only thing changes is when we have a tight end in there. The rush knows he only has one gap responsibility. But besides that, we make it very simple for everybody. Like I said, we have to teach it on the fly. We have to make sure everybody has it picked up. It makes for difficult throws. We want that corner to play inside leverage 5x1 to make and use the sideline to his help, force that receiver to the sideline to make that quarterback throw over that corner, to make that quarterback throw over our linebackers and safeties in the box. We want to force those difficult throws. We want to get some air under the ball so we can go play center field and pick that off. And then the umbrella coverage makes for a great disguise. We're always starting that too high look, and they have no idea where we're going on the snap of the ball unless we're cheating, and we don't want to be cheating. We want to be very disciplined, hold that where we're at, and then be able to come down and replace or fill that box wherever we can, but not show it pre-snap. And it frees up a backer or two to play a blitz or a spy. I like to delay blitz out of this if we're playing some type of man coverage on the backside. Like I said, if the splits are too far apart, we can call it Uno call, which means man-to-man, and we just play some games. And then we have that linebacker call his gap or call his blitz, and then we can just play line games with that. We won't go into that much today, but you'll see it. Here's my alignments I use for my linebackers and my D-line. I use the bottom chart, basically the alley, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 techniques. For the younger guys, you use A, B, and C, but that's what I use. This next chart's pretty key because you'll hear me talk about area 1, 2, and 3. If you weren't here last week, area 1 is your mic, your middle of the field. Area 2 is your hook to curl. Area 3 is your flat. We don't call them that. We have keywords, so if we change something on the field or yelling at you, you got 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3. It's opposite of the receivers. Area 1 is always in front of receiver 1. Area 2 is in front of number 2, and area 1 is always in front of number 3 or that back. So the safeties is just easy: deep half, deep middle, deep third, deep outside. So you'll hear that through my terminology. That's why I show it. I want you guys to see it. So when I say area 1, you know what I'm talking about. Area 2, area 3. Remember, it's starting in to the outside. 1, 2, 3. D-line play, like I said, is super easy, so I don't talk about it much on the slides. You'll see me talk about it a little bit, but our tackle is always in a 3 technique. Our rush is in a 4 technique and a forefront. If he reads a run or a down block, remember reading the outside knee of the tackle. outside knee steps up, we're going to try to get under his shoulders and spill that play to our alley or force player. If it's a straight hi hat, we're pass rushing, and if it's a 5-man front, he's in a 5 tech. Our nose is always in a 1 tech. He's chasing that pool. He's always reading the inside knee of the guard. That knee turns and runs lateral. He's chasing the pool. He's already in the play. If the hi hats, we're gonna split the center in the guard. I'm sorry, I got kids here. And then the down block, we're gonna be a big body in the middle there. Our end's always in a 5 technique. We have a knee steps down. We're gonna surf the mesh point. We're gonna play that zone read. If it's a GT or something like that coming at him, a pool, we're gonna wrong arm it, blow it up, and spill it to our force player, and we're gonna rush for the pass. Our will is always a 9 technique. It's a 5-man front, or we have a 11 or a 21. He's gonna serve, same thing versus down. He's gonna spill wrong arm versus the pool. That's just our D-line play. It's very easy. Like I said, we thought super fast. Make sure you got some dudes at those positions that can play these, and you don't have to rely so much on them as much as them spilling or filling gaps. So the first one we're gonna cover is our push technique. We used to call it blue. This year the coach changed it to push, but we call it blue. And it's basically versus our 3-by-1. This is versus 10 personnel. This is a Lion or Ricky call. So if our DBs hear Lion or Ricky, we know that we're in push. Ricky's to the right, Lion's to the left. Okay. Basically what we're doing here is we're going to apex. We're start from right to left. Our field corner, he's going to play like he's in cover 2, a 5-by-1 from the line of scrimmage. He's going to be playing like he's in cover 2. He's going to reroute everything inside, and then he's going to do a sink technique, which he's going to flip his hips, drop to the bottom of the numbers, 12 to 15 yards. Our stinger or a nickel, he's going to apex 2 and 3. He's going to read the outside knee of the tackle, that tackle hi hats. He's going to get to his landmark, which is outside of the hash. That's as far as he goes. He's going to collide and carry number 2. Whoever's number 2, it could be number 1 running the dig, or number 2 just trying to run a post. We're going to collide and carry that guy 10 to 12 yards, help out our safety, give him time to get to the middle of the field. And then our Mike's reading the play side guard. He's reading the inside knee as well. He down blocks. We're coming up. We're filling our gap. Our A gap. He pass sets. We are going to take our read step. We're going to take middle of the field. MOF is middle of the field. Open, find number 3. Whoever number 3 is crossing his area, collide and carry him 10 to 12 yards, or knock him on his tail, whatever comes first. Do not let him get over across the middle of the field. Give our strong safety some time to get over to the middle third. Our will has the hardest job here in cover 3, and most of our cover 3s that we do. Our will, his outside leg is on the inside leg of the rush. He's got weak side D, but he's also the force player. So if we read any type of pull from the guard or any type of down, he's got to fill. If he pulls, we got to be the force. We got to make sure we can bring it back inside. And then we put our rush in the 4 technique. Like I said, if it's a 4-man front, he's in a 4 technique. If this guy down blocks, we're trying to get underneath him, help our will out so our will can scrape over top and be the force. If it's a pass set, we are getting to our landmark, which is the hash again, right outside the hash, collide and carry for 10 to 12 yards. And then we are late to the flat. So in my terminology for the will, he's a boundary hash player. He's the area 2 to 1 player. He reads the uncovered lineman, which is the guard. Depending on the call, we'll get to that in a second, he is the new force player. So he's always going to be a new force player no matter what, unless he's blitzing. And when we call a blitz, we're going to make sure we call it uno to the corner, which means the backside corner mans up on the number 1 receiver. You can disguise it like he is right now, 5-by-1. They don't know what's coming, or you can come and play press. And then we can give an Indian outlaw call. We give an Indian or outlaw call. That tells the rush. Indian, that means they're coming inside. The rush knows he now has the force player. He has C gap. The will now has the B gap. If we have an outlaw call, the rush knows that he has the B gap. The will now has the C gap. in the blitz, and we're kind of vacating the zone, so the Mike has to kind of split the difference here and help out. But if we're vacating the zone, this corner better be manned up for any type of slant route, post, or anything like that coming inside. We need to take that away right away if we're going to send somebody. Like I said, the backside corner is 5x1 inside. And why we put him 5x1 inside? His landmark is top of the numbers. When the ball is snapped, he's going to do a bail technique. He's shuffle, bail. He's going to be at the top of the numbers. He's going to be sprinting, looking at the quarterback, getting depth of his zone. We don't have any run responsibility, so all his job is to do is sprint and get depth and make this guy run outside of him. Use the sideline as his friend or his tool. Squeeze him, make that quarterback where it is. Throw the ball over, get some air into the ball, so we can go over there and make the play, make that a difficult throw. We never want an easy throw to that receiver. There's a question there.
That was me, Coach.
All right. And then the strong safety. The safeties are lined up 10 to 12 yards from the hash. From the line of scrimmage on the hash, depending where the ball is. If the ball is on their left hash or the right hash, if it's on their hash, they're 2 yards outside the hash. The opposite safety is 2 yards inside the hash. If the ball's away from him, he's 2 yards inside. Opposite safety is 2 yards outside. Strong safety has no run responsibility on the pre-snap or on the key that we give during the week to the safeties that the quarterback does, which we'll look at in some film, whether he grabs his towel or he rubs his hands or he grabs his face mask, whatever read that quarterback has pre-snap. That safety starts to creep over towards the middle of the field at a 45-degree angle. Soon the ball snapped, he's sprinting, middle of the field, gets to his landmark between the goal post, and then he's in a deep back pedal reading the quarterback's elbow to wrist and reading for the breaks and everything else. The free safety is the same. He's getting to his landmarks, which is the top of the numbers. We have the guy on the bottom numbers, guy at the top of the numbers. He's creeping on the pre-snap, ball snapped, he's sprinting, getting at the top of the numbers, and he is backpedaling, getting depth. They have no run responsibility unless the ball crosses the line of scrimmage and then come up and play. We don't want to get deep on some bubble pass, fake bubble, or some wheel route. We want to make sure we got depth. So that's push for 3x1. Here's push for 3x1 and 11 personnel. It's basically the same rules. All that changes. The end is now, and we want to call this a 6 or whatever we want to call it. He's head up with the tight end. He's not giving that tight end a free release. If that tight end blocks down, we're going to surf. He's going to push down at the tight end in case it's like a drag route, pass him off to the Mike, so Mike glide and carry. We're going to boss over strong, which means bump over strong. We're just going to boss over a little bit to help out in the box. We have numbers on the string side, and just get to our landmarks. Like I said, the Will, his landmark is the outside the hash to the boundary side. Glide and carry 10 to 12 yards. The Sam is right outside the hash, 10 to 12 yards. Glide and carry number 2. The Mike's going to open to number 3, which is the tight end, and make sure that tight end doesn't run a seam or a post freely down the middle. He's going to put hands on him. So we have 2 guys crushing down this tight end. This end is not going to give a free release to this tight end. If they want to run the toss or something, he's going to spill it anyways. So as long as he gets underneath or gets hands on him and helps my Mike out, we're in good shape. And then the strong safety.
I got a question, Coach. Who is your force player away from the trips in 10 personnel?
In 10 personnel, it's the Will away from the trips, depending on the blitz. So the Will is the force player because, like I said, the boundary corner has no run responsibility. We did teach our kids, you'll see in film, that they can help on the run reading this tackle. If they're good enough to read that tackle, they can help, but we like to have them have no run responsibility. So the Will is the force. In a 4-man front, this rush, if it's a down block, he's always going to spill it to the Will so he can scrape over the top. The Will knows that his primary role is a force, but if something happens, he's also got this gap responsibility here as well. So the Will is the force against 3x1. If it changes up, if you're blitzing this guy, the rules will change. So if the rush is the outside guy on an outlaw, an Indian, where the wheels come inside, the rush, and now the force. It just depends.
Why did you set the front to the field?
Why do we set the front of the field? It's all personnel. So last week we talked about personnel. We like to shorten the field. We always put our strongest, fastest dudes to the field. We put our shorter, harding hitting, less ground coverage guys to the boundary. They're going to put their speed to the field. We're going to put our strongest athletes to the field, and that's how I call the strength. Our fastest kids. The will, like I said, the rush. In my personnel, he's the dude. He's the Chase Youngs. He's the JJ Watt. He's that guy you got to find that can be, a threat on the weak side, and not worry so much about the weak side. Kind of even out your defense with a couple players with the rush. The will is going to be a longer linebacker, a little bit taller, not as fast as the Stinger, which is a nickel, but he's a longer, stronger linebacker than the Mike. He can cover ground, and he can force that ball to go over his hand if he has to. So we kind of even it out with the backside, weak side, and not really a weak side. It's just like we put the dudes over here, and we put everybody else that's faster on the string side. That's why we set the front that way. We'll match speed with speed.
One more question here. Is your will also responsible for wheel from the running back?
He is. So that's a good question. So he's gonna if it's a hi hat from his uncovered lineman, he's gonna get to his hash, but he's reading. So he's area 2, late to 3, right? So he's got to get area 2 to 3 right away. He's always late to 3. So if he's passing, he drops in, he's passing long. There's nobody jumps his zone. He's gonna be able to see that wheel come out and play. But if we're in just coverage, straight cover 3, like we are now, we don't need actually a wheel player here. We got the corner in a deep third. And the corner should be able to play that ball if we do it correctly. We want to make sure that Will gets to the flat, though, but he's late to the flat. That dude's got a tough job in push. He really does. So we go with questions there. So there's push again. Like here's the Will again. He's bossed over strong to the strong side, so he's got a lot of area to cover. Basically, if it's 3-by-1 with a tight end, we're always going to slice this guy and uno him up. We push him in a little bit, 5-by-2 or 6-by-2, however you guys want to play it. Man him up, take away the quick slant or any type of play like that, and may force him to run outside man to man. And we just play with these 10 individuals here in the box. Like I said, if we boss him up, we can always spy the back, or we can send a blitz, make the rush the force, however you want to do it there. That's how we play 11. But we're going to always spill with the end. We're going to spill. We're going to spill the run to the alley, which you got, the Sam there, or the Stinger there. I'm sorry, who's the force, who's apexed. So nothing really changes there. We just widen it out and boss it over strong a little bit to help us out with the run. And we're just going to man the backside. You don't have to. I mean, you can play a true cover 3 like we have there, but we're going to move over. If they're bossing, we're going to boss the corner over to cut down that split. Like I said, this is a huge split. And if you have kids that are smart enough to do it, you can yell, uno, uno, uno. The Will's like, I'm never going to get there, dude. Help me out. Uno, uno, uno. The corner will tap his helmet. I got it. Line up. You can press him or play man. And we got that figured out, right? But it's just depending on the split. If you have a tighter split, man, we can just play just basic push against this. Field corner's got cover 2. And then free safety's got top of the numbers. Strong safety's got middle of the field. Everybody's got the same responsibility. So that's pretty much push. And then we got buzz. Buzz is more of a traditional cover 3. The buzz, which my signal is this for buzz, we replace the mic. The strong safety is replacing the mic, which frees up the mic. The spy, or I like to bring them the delay blitz. Like I said, we start everything from a too high look. The corners are still 5-by-1, so they look like the same. If we're playing cover 2, they're 5-by-1 outside. So I have it a little bit exaggerated on my drawing, but we're just going by the shoulder. So we're playing inside shoulder, outside shoulder. If it's cover 2, we're outside shoulder. If it's cover 3, we're inside shoulder. Corners have bail technique, to the top of their numbers. This guy should be out here to the top of the numbers. Corners at the top of the numbers. Now the free safety has middle of the field. Strong safety now is replacing the Mike, taking the Mike's area 1 away. So on the cadence or whatever key we give the safeties, they're going to start creeping over to the middle, take a 45-degree angle to the middle of the field. The strong safety is now creeping down to about 8 yards, replacing the Mike. The Mike can now start going, or he can show, or he can, whatever you have him do. You can actually send him A-gap too if you want. That's a really cool blitz. Bring him across the A-gap because the Mike's going to pick up the B-gap no matter what. Sorry, the Sam's going to pick up the strong safety pick up the B-gap no matter what. But you can do all sorts of games with this stuff. But he's coming down. Now he's open number 3, middle of the field, glide and carry. The stinger is glide and carry, area 2 to 3, late to flat. The Will got that job again. He's got 2 gaps. He's reading his guard. His guard down says he's coming up to his gap. The guard pulls. He's the force player. He's got to come up and force everything back in. If it's a pass, he's got to get to his area 2, late to flat.
Coach, are you worried about slant routes in this certain look?
You got to give something up here. We're more worried about the run right here. If the stinger and the Mike take away their 2 and 3, we're good. The Will, if it's a hi-hat from the guard, the UCL, he should get his eyes to his landmark. So he should find the new receiver coming across. There's nobody coming across. He gets you to his landmark. If there's somebody coming into his area, then he's got to glide and carry. That would take away the slant. I mean, it's going to be a quick throw, but you're going to get 5 yards. Yeah, you're worried about it, but you got to get something up there.
Coach, what are you doing to get your calls in as far as signs, signals, and what do you like? What do you prefer?
So we have this call, for example, we go back to push. We'll put this all in during the week or the 6 practices we have, and I call it read or book. And if I'm not calling, if I call like a straight gold cover 2, I'll lock it into place. We're cover 2 no matter what. But if I call book, that tells the Mike and the strong safety, hey, this is based on our alignment, what we're doing. We're reading the formation. So you got 2 guys checking each other's errors. So if we call book here, Mike's gonna start yelling Ricky, Ricky, Ricky. The strong's gonna start yelling Ricky, Ricky, Ricky. And we're gonna start signaling each other whatever a Ricky call is or whatever we're doing. They're signaling to each other. Everybody knows we're in a push or lion or whatever we're in. If like they come out in 20 personnel, like you see here, the Mike's gonna start yelling Rex, Rex, Rex. And he's gonna flex or Lee. And the Mike and the strong are both giving the calls to their players. And then we can only tag like a blitz, like here we'll yell like Rex, Mako. They'll send the Mike to his B gap, or if we go back to push, we can yell like, for example, Rex Will or Rex Wing. I'm sorry, Lion Wing, and this sends the backer in or out, but we have to tag an Indian or out with a call. But we normally do it. Everything's put in. So if we have time to install this defense, let's say we call a blitz with the wing. If he knows what we did during preseason, during spring ball and everything else, he's going to know if I'm a boundary player, if I have a short boundary, I'm going to call an Indian call and I'm going to blitz inside, right? If I'm have a lot of field to my side, I'm going to call an outlaw call and I'm blitzing outside, sending the rush in, and that's all installed during game week or preseason. These kids got to be smart. I'm fortunate to be able to coach at Brophy, in the school I've been coaching at Custom Christian and stuff, where we got some really, really smart, book smart Ivy League kids. I'm actually going to show you a film with 2 kids that one plays at Dartmouth, one plays at Stanford. They're both strong and free safeties together, and we have some dudes that are just smart. And this stuff you can teach it to them; it'll stick. But if not, you have to, as a coach, you have to say, "Hey, push, wing, Indian," and then they push, wing, Indian, and he'll come up and tell the rush, you got outside, got inside, or push, wing, outlaw, or you can do buzz, which is the buzz sign, Buzz, Mako, or something like that. You got to tag it in there. But normally it's all built into what we do during that week. So this is pretty much Buzz right here. Pretty easy. It's just replacing the strong safety, replacing the Mike. The Sam's got Clyde carrier number 2, and the strong is Clyde carrier number 3, but he's in the box. So right now, if you look at the box, we got 1, 2, 3, 4 versus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 players. Up, Mendo. So that is, but then we got Ringo Lucky. So Ringo Lucky, this is Ringo. Basically, that's the sign for Ringo Lucky, just a ring. What we're doing here, all that changes versus the 20 personnel is now we're replacing the stinger. You could put the stinger on the line if he's going to blitz, or he's got the surf technique, or you can put him back here apex like we normally have him, and then blitz from distance, saying he has an outlaw call. We can build that stuff in during the week. But remember, once he's blitzing outside, he is the new force. The will is the force on the left side or the weak side, and we have to make sure the line knows that we're going. If it's a Ringo Lucky, the Sam's coming, rush has inside or B gap. But all we're doing is replacing. The strong safety now has Clyde and carry number 2 inside, helping out that free safety get depth, and not allowing any posts or digs, helping the Mike get depth as well, to 10 to 12 yards to the middle of the field in area 1, and the Will has force area 2 to 3, late to 3. And like I said, the corners have bail technique 5-by-1, making that quarterback throw over their heads, no straight passes. So now we got numbers again versus the rush. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 versus 4. We got numbers here, and on the backside we got 3 versus 2. So we're never really out leveraged. I don't really count the center because the center is going to go either way. So it's a hard reach for the center. So that's Ringo Lucky. So just recapping real quick, if they hear push, Lion or Ricky, they know they're in push. If they hear Rex or Lee, they know they're in Buzz. If they hear Ringo or Lucky, they know they're in Ringo or Lucky. So it's pretty cool. And if they all they do is signal to each other, Ringo, Lucky, push, Rex or Lee. And then, it's pretty easy, the call. And then as you'll see in film, when we go to film next, you'll see that the quarterbacks, they're trying to read who's coming up. We have the safeties, you get to a point where they get good at it. You can have the free safety act like he's coming up, and then he's dropping middle, and the strong safety comes and robs the number 2, like you'll see in the first film that we show. Or you can just have him come up in the box and then have him bail, or just show it. Who cares? Then if they're like a wing T or something like that, you just come up and show it. And we're going to play cover 3 against this. Just depends who you got. We played a lot of good kids. You'll see on film. We played. You'll see on film. You'll see Spencer Rattler and Brock Purdy and Chuba Purdy and Shaw from Oregon. All those quarterbacks are D1. We played all those guys. That was our region. So you'll see all those guys, how we've had to play against them, and we're pretty successful against those guys.
Question here, Coach.
Yeah.
Is that boundary corner inching on his press bail?
He can inch back. He can inch back on his press bail. I'd rather him just turn and go. It depends on it. Like I said, it all depends on who you got, man. If you got a guy who can inch, or we have a press. We have a press call from our corner coach gives that shows like we're a man, and then we just press bail, but they got to be fast and they got to be able to get out. I just like them to turn and go and run, especially the younger guys, especially teaching this to your JV and freshmen. If you want them to learn the same thing as they do on varsity, just have them go. But on varsity, you'll see when I do the position trainers here at the end, all the terminology we have that I have to change how the corners play or the safeties play. When you can, the corner or safeties coach is yelling, press or bluff or whatever other thing we got going on. So you can definitely do a lot of different stuff with the corners. This is just their base fundamentals. 2 shuffles and bail, inside leverage, straight down the line. And if you got a corner, you only got 1 receiver, just squeeze him towards the sideline. That's what we teach. And then that's verse 21. So this is Buzz. So we bring the stinger up on the line where you can apex them. Only change that changes, like I said, is the strong safety who's wall in number 2. If we have a 21 personnel, um, like I said, we have a 5-man front. The rush can be a 5 technique. He's going to be outside in a 7 or 9, however you guys call it. Everybody calls it different. But with the rush, when we have a tight end, this guy, he's mirroring him, so his stance is squared. I like to use squared stance, not inside foot up. He's actually mirroring the footsteps of the tight end. So if the tight end down blocks, he's going to smash down the tight end, right? Just in case it's, it's not a delayed pass or not give him a free release. And then we're going to surf the edge and we're going to be able to surf if he down blocks. If he releases upfield, we're going to crash and collide with him. And we basically got 2 guys versus tight end and a Ringo Lucky and a versus 21. This guy will not be open. If he gets that ball in there, they're not very good. So, and if it's a down block or whatever, or even he's in the pass set, we're just rushing upfield shoulder. But we got two or three guys versus tight end. That guy's not going to get a free release, and we're just going to play everything else traditional cover 3. But these guys, once they do that, collide the tight end, he's got to get to his hash mark. He's got to now carry the new number 2, which is a tight end, and make sure that he doesn't get a free release down the middle on the free. And the Will's got late area 2 to 3 as well. And you can still do your stuff here and call unos backside, depending on the split. If he's way out here, bottom of the numbers, we use high school hashes in Arizona. I know in Texas they use college hashes and numbers. So if he's out here bottom of numbers, that's a huge split. You can uno this up. You can have another guy in the blitzing game as well, or the drop game, whatever you want to do, or spy, or anything cutback, or that cutback's nasty out of this formation too. So that's how we play that. And like I said, here we can uno all this stuff depending on the spot of the ball. And then the last one I like to talk about is corners over. I call it Compton. Kids named it that. We just bring over a field corner, use him now as the nickel, right? Use him here as the nickel. With that same scenario right here with the tight end where he's going to be smashed. He's going to be smashed, surfed, or collide and carried. This guy's just deep thirds, and we just line up in this. If it's a yak formation like this, where it's a closed size trip, and we have the 3 receiver side, we just line up in this, bring the corner over, and we have speed for speed, and then we got we can cover this guy if he goes to the flat, and we got over top players. You can also start too high over this, but like I said, your corner is over, so that's just a different variation of cover 3. We don't see this much. We saw it a few times last year. We didn't play it last year. Our DC, I think, played push to this. But I like to play this when I'm the DC and be able to put speed for speed, especially the teams that we face here in Arizona. That's Compton. And then I got some film for you guys, and I'll show you a little bit of our coaches trainer. So this is a variation of cover 3 we ran a couple years ago. This is Spencer Rattler, quarterback, Oklahoma. This is Marcus and Noah. So when I'm showing you this, this is our Ringo Lucky. You see the corners are inside. He's playing back a little bit.
But you still got the PowerPoint up.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, you just got to share the other part.
It's new. Share. See it now?
Yep.
Is that good?
Yep, you're
All right,
good.
cool. So this is Spencer right here. This is Marcus and Noah, 2 safeties, so 2 all-state safeties. You see the corners are playing inside 5x1. Our nickel apex. We have the rush way out here because they're actually we got caught in this 2x2 set. So we had actually apex somebody out and help out on this side. So it's kind of like a cover 2 and a cover 3. But as you see, when the tell for this quarterback, which is Spencer, he grabs his towel when he's about to throw the ball. It lets us know, hey, he's going to throw the ball. We're all aware of it. And that's all during the week. Or he'll tap his helmet to the receiver he's throwing to. Each quarterback has his tail. But as you see, as they start going, now they're going to bump over to 3. And now we bring a man in the box. Now it's a 4-2. Right. And then Marcus, as you see, Marcus is creeping down inside number 2 to about 10 to 12 yards. He's patient. He's just walking up, reading the play as it develops. Noah's got middle third. We got Bashan and I forgot his name, but they're bailing. He should be inside the hash, but he's actually inside the receiver because the receiver's so split out with this huge split. So Mark is going to walk down side number 2. Our nickel's going to collide carry. Or going to go. I think he's just going to go flat on this play. Mark's going to come down and take number 2. And what he's doing, he's very patient. He's walking down. He's hesitating on the quarterback. He's still walking, reading the shoulder of the quarterback. His elbows down, his shoulders pointed. That means that ball's going short. Mark is now reading where is it going. Our linebacker's colliding carry, so he's doing a great job. He's got to be able to switch to here, but we got Marcus coming down to cut him off. And what happens, as you see the result here, I'll go to play, is Marcus comes outside number 2, be able to do this. This was a Ringo call, and he picked it off for pick 6. He was right in the spot. I think we have a couple. That's a man. Here's another one. This quarterback here is Tyler Shook. Now we're lined up in it, basically. We're daring you. This is cover 3. This is what we're doing. The safety's in the middle of the field. Marcus is now replacing the will because the will is going on an outlaw. And the corners are backed up a little bit because we play some good QBs and we got to get out faster. Same thing, creeping up. That's your slant route right there. We're going to cut off and take the ball for the end zone. So I don't know what that was. I'll rewind it. It's another one. I mean, we love this. We love this defense when we ran it. This kid won 2-time 6A player, defensive player of the year. We rewind that here. Same thing. See how the corner's creeping back. Mark's creeping up. Noah's creeping back to the middle third. Everybody's moving. As we saw, we do it on the pre-snap, and I'll show you the pre-snap for Tyler. Tyler turns his head twice, and we know he's going to throw the ball. Marcus walks up, able to undercut the route. That's our Ringo Lucky call again. That's what the Ringo Lucky looks like. I'm trying to see if I can find a let's go Noah. This is a push. We're a little bit late on the field again. This is a push. Marcus and Noah, our safeties, our rush is running late on the field. There's a quick turnover. We're backed up. Deep guard situation. As you see, the safeties are going deep third. He's got colliding carry number 2, which he doesn't. He's got colliding carry number 3. He's on his tail. We're playing cover 2, forcing him inside. We got a safety on top of the number. We got a safety in the middle of the field. He can play center field. And what Noah does here, Noah plays safety at Stanford now. He's able to get to the middle of the field, turn his hips, play center field, squeeze the play, get depth, and go get the pick. So you got 2 safeties there with good speed, making the pick on the yard line. I don't have much film on this guy. We had an empty huddle due to the space restrictions. So, but I do have my position trainer to show you. For example, my position trainer for the safeties, which a few of you guys asked me for last week, which I'm sending out today. Like I have my coverages, I have my stances, what we do on cover 3, Ringo Lucky. Cover 4 is our key and facts. That's just another key word for that. Everything from stance to cover 3, but how we play our cover 3 for the safeties, once I get to it. Here's our peel, here's our 2. So here's our safety rules for cover 3. Our safety will be divided by strong and free. Ringo Lucky must be called the strength side. Ringo will set the strength. Strong safety will stem, anticipate the snap count coming down late to reroute number 2 inside and drop to area 3. Free safety will also stem, get to the middle of formation that time with the ball snapped, and get to a depth of 15 yards and play deep third. When all safeties go, they will switch sides. So that's how we play Ringo Lucky, and he just tells you how we play Buzz. The Buzz for us, strong safety will stem, it's the snap count coming down and keep a zone of 8 to 10 yards from area 2, replacing the blitzing, which we called them buck 3 years ago. If he sees a run block, he must then come up and take his gap. Free safety will stem, get to the middle of the field, 15 yards, play cover 3. So that's how we played it. And we have that for our corners as well. I'll just show you our corner stuff real quick and our linebacker stuff. This is our safeties trainer. Our corner trainer. Our corner trainer is not much to talk about. It's just, how we stem. Let's see. Ringo Lucky. Ringo Lucky. Deep third off 10. I like playing 5x1. Now this needs to be corrected. Outside leverage, pay attention to the splits, hash rule, 3, read position. That's your deep third. Nothing to be thrown over your head. We're in a show. That somebody asked me about that. We're 2 yards in a press stance, so we can actually do our inch back technique. On snap ball deep, nothing can be thrown over your head, and we can be slice, which are 5x2 inside. That's what I like to do. Just the different ways we play. Here's Buzz, same responsibilities as Ringo Lucky, cover 7 or cover 3 variations, and then we had our here's our what do you call it? Our vocabulary. Here's our vocabulary, our glossary. We do this for every coach. Every coach has this, and the kids need to know what's going on. So this is all the words we use to how to play corner. And exit angle cover 2. We didn't know how to float. We didn't know how to fact. We didn't know how to feel, the key step, in phase, all that stuff they need to know, because we need to be able to. When we're coaching them, they need to know these words, our recs and leads, our reroutes, out of phase. So we have these for you guys. You want to look at them, and then we have our linebackers and stuff, our D line as well. Our D-line trainers on there as well, but here's our trainer for the linebackers from every drill that we want to do, or how they do their pass sets, pass drops. Shit, I'm stuck here. How to tight flow, wide flow, fast flow, everything we teach linebackers that we need to make sure that they know. How to read the down block for a wide flow. That comes in great with the Will in cover 3 and Ringo Lucky and in Buzz. And then we teach them how to play the hi-hat, their pass drops for cover 3. Both the Mike and Buck have area 2. Area 2 is at the hash inside the 10 to 12-yard mark. If on the hash, it's okay for the inside linebacker to be on the boundary and back pedal. We're never getting off our landmark. They just have to show you how we play our stuff. So it's pretty cool to have those. And then we have a D-line one as well. And D-line, it just tells you, block destruction, football IQ, what we look for, neutral zone, all that stuff. So that's all I got, guys, for cover 3. If you guys have any questions, please let me know.
Yeah, absolutely. Guys, if you have any questions, feel free to hit the chat. While we're doing that, Coach, you just want to share your Twitter handle and your email in case they didn't get it last time, or
let me type it in here.
Either way.
Well, I'm at Twitter. I'm at Coach M Patterson, and then my email is coach_Patterson@outlook.com. It's pretty easy. So at Coach M Patterson and coach_Patterson@outlook.com.
Yeah, feel free to reach out, guys. I mean, with these, and just like everybody else, and feel free to drop your Twitter handle in the chat as well, so we can all follow each other and continue on. But yeah, definitely, when these coaches are sharing their contact information, man, use it, reach out. We were talking before everyone got on here how things are just, obviously a little crazy right now, and we have a lot more time on our hands, and clearly, we're filling it up with these clinic talks, but dudes are available to talk ball. So let's take advantage of that, man. Take advantage of that. Reach out to these coaches. Get on. Do your own little Zoom set, whatever. Take advantage of the situation. I think we've been doing a great job of it. And let it continue on. So, Coach, I appreciate you jumping on again, man.
Thank you for having me, man.
Part 3 next week.
Part 3 next week.
There you go.
Do some stunts and games.
There you go. I love it.